So we want to make this video today about Death of the Good Girl and stepping into or invoking the wise wild woman.
Yeah, and if you've ever read the book Women Who Run with the Wolves, such a powerful book. I would recommend it for any woman. And man. Such a powerful book that's, essentially talking about some of the things we want to mention in this video. I guess we want to start with what the wise wild woman is.
Yeah, so a wise or a wild woman honours her own needs. Yeah. Which is completely opposite of what we're encouraged to do in society. But she's in touch with her own intuition, with her own cycles and the cycles of the earth too.
Yeah, and she knows this is her greatest strength.
Yes.
Like being in tune with your intuition and your natural bodily cycles and those cycles of the earth and your subconscious, your dream state, all of those things are where your power lies. The problem is that we are not initiated as women into that new state or that next stage of our life. Like we would have been, let's say, in more ancient culture, or when we were living more in tribal culture as well, we would have had these kind of more initiation ceremonies for women and also for men. And what happens is, because we don't have them, there's this kind of confusion, I think, over our roles and where our power lies and things like that. And what we have in Western culture is this kind of overarching or exhausting idea or ideal of women having to be the good girl. Yeah. And that kind of staying around.
Yeah. And we say being the good girl is like death of 1,000 cuts. So it's always saying yes when you really want to say no. It's saying yes to serving others when perhaps you're feeling exhausted.
Yeah.
It's giving pieces away of yourself when you should be giving them back to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's this thing of always being polite, always being nice, never being able to show or express those types of that's considered negative emotions. So things like, anger, jealousy, whatever. It's like, so we suppress them as women, and then it comes out in our shadow self, which leads to things like bitching or taking down women unconsciously and gossiping. We might get resentful at other things. It'll come out in some other way. Yeah. Because we're not allowed to just, let it out because it's seen as being, non-feminine in some way.
Yeah. So that part of the self is never integrated. So it gets pushed all into the shadow realms.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And for a lot of women, I think what happens is that because we don't have that initiation ceremony, we might go through that transition from kind of the good girl into, let's say, more of the wild woman through some sort of traumatic event, let's say. For me, it was an illness where I could no longer be the good girl anymore, even though she still lingers daily sometimes. I couldn't do that because I could no longer give myself so much to others because I was so fatigued and so ill. And I had to make some really big changes psychologically in order to put myself first.
Yeah, you also see it when, breaking up of a marriage or things like that, where the woman has no choice but to start saying no to others and yes to herself.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it. And it could be through an abusive relationship or, like really anything, or even becoming a mother because all of a sudden you have to give more to your own family and you can no longer give to other sources. So we all go through it. We might go through it. It's just that it might linger still. We don't go through that official transition out of it, out of that younger self, that younger, innocent, naive, rose-colored glasses girl who we are when we're younger. But we need to initiate out of that.
Yeah, and in Indigenous cultures, there's many initiations.
Yes.
And the woman is more revered as she gets older because she's seen to carry the wisdom and be the, the portal to the other side and things like that. Whereas in our Western culture, the woman is seen as almost useless as she gets older, which is horrible. But because so much of it is based on the external things, the way women look.
And the obsession with youth.
Yeah, absolutely. It's almost reverse in our culture. So, I guess we're not asking you to, go out and protest or, do anything crazy, too outlandish. What we're asking is that every day you find a way to honour yourself as a woman. to tap into your own intuition and your own needs.
And you question that good girl conditioning.
Yeah. Stop encouraging the narrative.
Yeah, because if you do that, then, you know, you'll influence other people, your own daughters, your mothers, your aunties, your friends. You know, it starts with all of us questioning those very toxic, ingrained perceptions of how women should be.
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
big stuff.